Morpeth is a historic market town right in the heart of Northumberland. Running right through Morpeth is the River Wansbeck here, and it's the Wansbeck which has been the source of a number of flooding incidents over the years, particularly in the 60s, which led to us building the first of our flood defence schemes in the area. In September 2008, Morpeth suffered from some really severe flooding, with over 1,000 homes and businesses affected from flooding from the River Wansbeck. Since that time, the Environment Agency and Northumberland County Council have worked really hard together to deliver a £27 million flood defence scheme to protect the town. Working with the businesses and residents of Morpeth has been really important, as we want to make sure that any scheme that we delivered for them was trusted and accepted by them.
Naturally, people were very frightened, they were very upset and they were very worried, and the thought that that kind of thing could happen again in such a short space of time, you know, within a few hours of being the river where it was to the river being actually into their homes, there was a sense of urgency.
Yes, well,
about getting something done.
We were complacent before.
Flooding in Morpeth is fairly complex. As well as the River Wansbeck, there are 3 burns which run through the town, and we have had flooding from these smaller watercourses as well. So while we've been designing a scheme for the main River Wansbeck, we've also had to carry out measures on the smaller burns to stop flooding from them as well. With it being a historic market town, we had to make sure that the defences fitted in with the unique architecture of the town. So as we started to look into the design of the scheme, we realised that we would have to store water upstream in the catchment. So the scheme is a combination of the 2, defences in the town and an upstream storage. This took the form of a storage reservoir. So when particularly high flows come down the River Wansbeck, the storage reservoir will stop water from coming down, and it will hold around about 1.4 million cubic metres of water, which would have otherwise come down and flooded the town of Morpeth. And then when the river levels start to drop, we can let this water drain away much slower, and then the walls in the town can cope with this level of flow, safely pass it down through the town, and the town's protected. Also, when we built flood defence scheme, we tried to make sure that we invest in new habitat for the future. The River Wansbeck is home to the white-clawed crayfish. It's probably one of the last places in the United Kingdom where this native species has a stronghold. It was really important that when we built the scheme, we made sure that the construction work didn't damage the habitat, and also that we tried, wherever possible, to provide refuges for the white-clawed crayfish so that the populations could continue into the future and we could protect what is really, really a nationally important species. The High Stanners area of the town is one of the areas which was undefended, but it was also one of the focal areas of the town where people come to enjoy the river. When the river comes up, these gates will then be swung shut to close the gap off and stop the water getting in to flood the properties in the High Stanners.
I think now the community is far more resilient, and we've got people buying into the whole scheme with the flood defences and the likes of wardens and the services listening and understanding what the problems are. So I think everything's improving a lot on that lines.
Bringing together all the different agencies, all the different kinds of community strengths, instead of working adversarially, and I know at times it was quite difficult to work collaboratively, but I think what's been borne out through the years and the hard work that everybody's put in, we've ended up with the defences we have, which are not only good for now, but are looking to the future to make sure that
Yes, and
we're protected then too.
everybody's happy with it, and that they don't need to worry as much.